Our next principle is being congruent. And this for me is really the magic word when it comes to body language. And remember I said earlier that what we're going to cover today, it's not like techniques, it's not do this hand thing, it's not, do this face thing. There are absolutely kind of tendencies in gestures, tendencies in expression. But what I really want you to be thinking about today is whatever you do has to be congruent. So if I tell you, I'm really excited, do you believe me? No, you don't, right? Because nothing about that body language is congruent with being excited. This was another hard lesson that I learned when I was at university, just before I'd done the peroxide blonde hair. It was my first year of university. I'd only been away from home a couple months. I was actually still 17. I wasn't even 18 yet. Young, naive, immature, the whole works. And not much has changed all these years later. And I'm walking out of my student campus and I'm going to the gym and I'm sort of walking along and I have my headphones in and I'm kind of not like paying attention as you do. And this van comes along the road and the window winds down and this guy sticks his head out the window and he goes, "Hey, mate, you want some speakers?" And when something strange happens and you don't know how to react, I stop almost like a cartoon, like my foot's still in the air, and what? I've still got my headphones in, and I'm like, did I hear him right? So I stop my music and I go, "Well, what did you say about speakers?" And he was like, "Yeah, mate. So my mate and I we're delivering these speakers, and the customer wasn't in. They can't pick them up. And the thing is, if we don't finish our deliveries by the end of the day, we get this docked off our wages. So we're trying to offload these speakers. We're wondering, do you want a set of speakers? They're a couple £100, a couple $100, euros for our international audience. And do you want them? And we'll give them to you on the cheap. We're just trying to get rid of them because otherwise we lose money." And I've got all these thoughts going for them. I was like, I don't really want speakers, but it kind of sounds like a good deal. So I say, right, okay, well, what do you mean doing from cheap? He's like, "Yeah, mate, these sell for £200. We'll do them for £100. How about that? Half price. That way you get some speakers on the cheap. I mean, they're worth £200. You can sell them if you want. We just gotta make sure we get rid of them so we don't lose our wages." So I'm like, right, okay. I'm like, well, I'm not carrying £100 on me. And they're like, "Oh, that's right, mate. We just saw an ATM down the road. We'll give you a lift down there." So I find myself getting into this van, and some of you know the punchline already, don't you? So I go down to the ATM, I take out these £100, and they're like, "Oh, mate, this is fantastic. Right, well, where's your flat? Where's your room? We'll take you up there." So they drive me back up. I give them the £100. They give me the speakers. And at this point, I ask, "Why don't you just sell the speakers?" And I said, "Oh, no, it's going to be too difficult because we're going to have to take the speakers in the van, and if our boss sees them, he's going to take the wages off." And that little bit of doubt, it just got talked over. And I went back into my room and my student dorm with these fucking speakers. I still haven't been to the gym. That's where I was supposed to be going. I go with these and I sit there and I feel really weird. I go, this just doesn't feel right. So I look at these speakers, I look at the brand, and I Google it. And those of you who've guessed the punchline, the first hit, blah, 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 speakers, is this a scam? And I look on the forum, and on the forum, someone wrote, there's these two guys in a van, they come past me, and they asked me if I wanted some cheap speakers, and I bought them, and I looked at, so yes, the speakers are stolen. And they went to a university where they knew there'd be a bunch of young mugs, just like me, who would buy some stolen speakers. Now, what's the point of this story? The point of this story is I knew from the moment that my foot is hovering in midair that there is something wrong with this situation. Now, there was nothing necessarily in the words that told me that, but I looked at these guys and I read the situation, and something within me picked up that what they were saying was not congruent with how they looked. Now, they were giving it all the flash talk and the good sales pitch. They were experts, they knew how to con people, but I could see that there was something off about this situation. So even as that young idiotic mug, I threw the speakers in the bin after that. I felt so ridiculous. I didn't even want to see them. I didn't even want the speakers. They were perfectly good speakers, but I wanted them out of my life. So I threw away these speakers. I knew I didn't want those speakers. And I knew that there was something about this situation that wasn't right. And we've got to make sure we never put our audiences into that type of situation. Now, not to the stage where the audience feels like you're trying to con them, although I have sat in audiences where it has felt a little bit like that, where we've got a very hard sales pitch from someone who's really giving it the big un on stage. Sorry, the big un, that's a bit of a Scottish idiom. The big is like a lot of talk. You've got to make sure that what you are saying and how you are saying it matches up. So if you're talking about something that's happy and exciting, look like you're happy and excited about it. If you're talking about something that's challenging, that's poignant, that's sentimental, look like you have that poignancy, look like you have that sentiment. So this isn't to say that doing this thing makes you look happy and doing this thing makes you look sad. How you express that will be individual to you. But you want your audience to go, what they're saying and what I'm seeing is matching up. Not be in that situation where I think I'm being sold some stolen speakers here. So how do we do this? I actually want to do a little bit of an experiment. What you've just seen there is a snippet of my Amplify online course. Amplify, Spark Your Speeches, helps aspiring speakers to create engaging content and deliver it effectively. It's a step-by-step program that guides you through your speaking journey at your own pace. It's a series of live workshop recordings. So you get to have the interactive experience of being in that live setting, but you get to do it on your own time. No worrying about time zones, schedules, all of that kind of fluff. There's lots of additional learning resources in the course that complement and add to the workshops that you go through. It's a 12-month program, and you can access the course in the first month for a $1 trial. So you get to come into the program, see what it's all about, and see if it's going to be right for you and your speaking development. To access your $1 trial, I've put the link in the description below. If you click that link, go through to our course homepage, and at checkout, enter the code YouTube, that's where you've come from, to get your first month for a $1 trial. Click the link in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you in the course.